Charleston, Mississippi has got to get over the racism.
One of the things that surprised me was they have separate proms, one white, one black.
It's 2008. Why are you going back to the attitude that you had 50 years ago?
I have this proposal. You don't want to have a prom instead of 2 or 3? I'll pay for it. Deal?
The white parents wanted us to go to the white prom. It was ridiculous. Why act like that over a prom?
For Disney World, and there was a crowd, and we crashed into this gentleman, and he called us the N-word. And well, of course I wouldn't act on my thoughts, but I thought we were living in more positive times, and it's kind of disheartening.
You're going to see a film about the year 2008. You're going to be seeing kids who are literally your age. You're going to see the questions that they have had to face. And I think what I come away from this film believing is that there is not a black problem, there is not a white problem, there is an American problem.
We took an Alabama trip last year, and we went to Ryan's to eat. And all of us were sitting at the table together, and a man walked up to us and was like, "Why are y'all sitting together?" And we're all like, "Because we like each other."
So this person was asking you why white and black people were sitting together, and it appeared that he disapproved of that. Is that right?
We are lucky to have some Canadians who have come here today to help us work through that issue. So with that, I would like to introduce you to Paul Saltzman and Patricia Aquino, the producers, directors of Prom Night in Mississippi.
You can't determine who your child is going to love and not love, but I'm going to stick with her no matter what decision she makes because I love her that much. I'm not going to turn my back on her ever.
Relationships, blacks and whites, talking, being friends. It's going to be one community eventually. And if not, it's going to be a lone community.
Hopefully, we might pray that we can use something as a catalyst to allow them to interact socially.
More of the white people, they're actually kind of talking to us more, even though we're seniors and been together forever. I think they're actually talking to us more since prom.
Well, that was a pretty cool reaction. Questions, thoughts, anything you want to share?
Was the prom this past year integrated as well?
Yes, Charleston High School did have a second integrated prom this year.
Jeremy and Heather still together?
Jeremy and Heather still together? Good question. Yes, they are. And TJ and Jessica are still together.
In the beginning, you talked about Hispanics and other races, but like in previous years, what prom did they go to?
On that note, were there any people with disabilities?
Were there any times where you felt just thoroughly uncomfortable while you were filming?
Were there any other public high schools in the area or other high schools that had no integrated proms?
The place that's happening now in America is where? If you said New York, you'd be right. So, you know, these issues are universal issues. In fact, let me ask you a question. Besides me, I'm putting up my hand, who here has had at least one prejudice thought in your lifetime? Okay. So I think that's everybody. Has anyone here never had a prejudice thought ever? Do you ever feel hurt by that? I mean, what's the feeling that goes along with those kind of assumptions that you must be poor if you're black?
I'm not necessarily hurt by it because I'm more mature than that, I guess, and I realize that everybody needs an education, and if I choose to go further and get help to get a better education, then it's not my problem. I don't have to feel bad about it.
When I was in elementary school, I went to a predominantly black school, and I was one of the smartest people in my school, and they thought I was like weird or something, and it just makes me feel like, why do black people have to be dumber than white people? Like, if a black person is smart, why do they have to be weird?
So this is kind of a different topic, but most of my family is from South Georgia, and I was always raised not to be racist, but down there, it's like, when I go there, it's like traveling back in time. And the N-word is used there, and it's not like it's about it.
And so it's still sort of back in time in terms of racism against blacks, towards blacks, and the use of the word nigger openly. Is that openly?
I had always assumed that a lot of racism was in the South. That's not always the case, which made me confused, like why it's such a national issue.
In different parts of the country, if you have a Southern accent and you're white, they automatically assume that you're, that you're stupid, that you're racist, that you've had this different kind of upbringing, and that's really not true of a lot of Southern families, even people who've lived here for generations. And I think that's a prejudice that's really hard to overcome.
As I was watching the movie, I didn't necessarily agree with everyone and their points of view, but I could understand because it's a matter of how you're taught and how you choose to use what you're taught. Like, it's kind of mind-baffling. I never would have imagined that in 2008, people are segregated. So I think that this film was really good and an eye-opener because it's all around.
And when they would tell their other friends, I go to a school for learning disabilities, they'd be like, oh, so it's filled with a bunch of stupid people. And that would include me and my friends. And it'd feel very offensive because we aren't stupid. We just learn differently, and actually you have to be smart in order to get into the school based on certain testing. So it really offended me, and we would just take that learning disability to a whole new level of just stupidity.
I was like 6 or 7, and me and my dad, we were at SeaWorld. And my dad had me on his shoulders so that I could see the things, and there was like other kids in the crowd that were on their dad's shoulders and stuff. And this guy behind us, this white guy behind us, was like, excuse me, could you put your daughter down? I can't see. So my dad was like, sure. So he like puts me on his arm so I can still see, but I'm not like on his head. So the guy's like, excuse me, I still can't see. And my dad was like, well, could you move over? Because she can't see either. And he was like, well, I think you niggas are just rude as hell and blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
Thank you for all of this.